Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. I'd like to welcome you, dear viewers, to another in our series, In the Light of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There are peace and blessings in each and every one of you. In this segment of our program, we're looking at some questions, the first of which has been faxed in to me, and of course, if you'd like to fax in the question, you may fax in the question to me at the 06, that is in Sharjah, 323-724. Well, now the number has been changed, it's add a 5 to it, it's 5-323-724. This first question, anyway, is from Asif Rashid in Sharjah. He writes the question, Dear Dr. Bilal, Assalamu alaikum, I'm here. I have a query for which I need your views. I've taken an investment, a retirement plan from Alico, which is as follows. The period is 20 years. I have to give them a certain amount every year, and they will, after 20 years, give me back the target amount plus bonuses, which are not fixed. In case I die before paying the full amount, or 20 years, my beneficiary will receive the full amount plus bonuses. I have no suggestion that occurs nearby. This is traditional Islam. The reply will be appropriated. Well, what are we looking at here? This is a kind of, it says investment retirement plan. A person agrees to pay a certain amount of money over a period of time. This money is invested, and the profits on that investment are given back to him as like dividends. As a principle, this is permissible in Islam, as a principle, because it becomes a form of investment. Investment is not forbidden in Islam. A person will give me some money, I may invest this money along with my money in some project, and then the profits from it, are shared, divided up, amongst each other. Now, what he mentions here is that after 20 years, they'll give me back the target amount. Well, of course, I'm not really clear on what is meant by the target amount. Is this the same amount of money you've given in? If it's the same amount of money you've given in, they're going to return you the money that you put in, plus the profits of the investment of that money. Then you're still okay so far. If that amount is another amount, meaning I pay so much over 20 years, and there is a fixed amount that they will give me back, which is not the same amount I've given them. I give over 20 years, if I'm doing, say, 1,000 dirhams a year, or that's 20,000 dirhams. But the target amount is 40,000 dirhams, for example. After 20 years, they'll give me back 40,000 dirhams. Then, in that case, this is haram. In that case, this is interest. They've borrowed your money, they'll use it for 20 years, and they'll double your money. That is interest. So the issue of this bonuses, which are, which may be additional, from additional investments, which maybe is not unfixed, that doesn't change the fact that the basic agreement here is one of interest. Secondly, we have to look to see where are these monies invested. If we say it's the first picture, that is, the amount which is given back, the target amount after 20 years, what's given back to you, is the same money you put in, but that money has been invested in a variety of different projects or whatever. We have to look at those projects. Were those projects halal projects? If they were not, then the money being paid back to you as bonuses is haram. If those projects were halal, then the amount paid back to you is halal. So this is the issue that we have to deal with. And if you have no idea where they're investing, etc., then you can't do this. You cannot enter into such an agreement, because the majority of these kind of companies are going to invest in things which are haram. The third point is, if the monies which they take from you is invested in halal, right? So the products, the profits coming from it now become halal. So we have the third example. However, the bank keeps the money in, not the bank, or the investment company keeps the money in the bank and earns further interest on that money, which they include as part of the bonus. Then what modern scholars have said is that in this regard, what you do is the amounts which have come to you by way of interest, you leave, you do not take. But what was your principal plus the bonuses, that is the profits from the investments, which are from halal sources, and then the rest you have to leave. You can extract from it what is good and leave the rest. So that would be my basic advice in this regard. One, you have to determine or identify what is meant by your target amount here. If that target amount is a multiplication, a multiple of the amount which you have given, it is an increase on the amount which you have given, a fixed increase on the amount you have given, this is interest. Secondly, if the amount which is given back to you is your principal, the basic money you put in, but the increase is coming from investments, then you have to determine, were these investments halal or haram? If the investments are haram, then it's haram. You can take your principal back, and what they were going to give you, you have to leave. And if they are halal, then you can take both. In the third case, we have to consider, are these bonuses in any way kept in the bank and an addition made to it on an interest basis? If that's the case, then you may extract out that small portion which is from interest and take the halal remainder. The next question we have is one which is coming concerning the use of alcohol in perfumes. Sister writes, "Dear Dr. Bilal, could you please answer a question which has been bothering us concerning the use of perfumes which contain alcohol? Are they permissible or are they not? Some people say they are and some people say they're not. We'd appreciate your clarification. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh." Okay, the vast majority of scholars consider alcohol to be najis. The majority hold it to be najis based on the 90th verse of Surah Ma'idah, in which Khamr is described as rijs. And that same word is used in the 6th chapter, verse 145, to describe pork. However, a number of scholars also have objected to this position, holding that the term rijis was also used to describe the divining arrows, or the means of fortune telling, indicating then that the use of this term was not physical uncleanliness, but spiritual or religious uncleanliness. So, on the basis of that, the use of alcohol would not then be considered not permissible, because it would not be considered to be unclean. I feel this is the stronger position, that the alcohol, what's forbidden of it is drinking it. Because the whole issue of alcohol is one of the harm that comes to the individual from consuming it. Whereas using it in other ways, for example, for cleaning wounds and as cleaners of in different other capacities, we know that it has specific benefits to the society. So, without a clear text indicating that it is, in fact, impurity, in the same way, for example, the saliva of the dog is impure, or the meat of the pig is impure, then